Welcome to another spectacular episode of our conversation for the nation, the dialogue. With me, Isaac Clotte. In a moment, I'll be introducing my guest, a usual guest or a usual panelist that contributes immensely to the conversation for the nation. In a week where the Akufo-Addo graduates are going to be tested, we will be taking a look at matters arising from, if you didn't know, the West African Examination Council will be conducting the WASSCE examinations commencing today. So these and other issues will be part of the discussion or part of the menu for this morning's conversation. Right. So, without wasting much time, the issues are plenty, like I always say. So let's just go straight to the front and the back pages of the various newspapers as we have them and look at some of the issues that will be occupying our conversation for the nation this morning. The new Crusading Guide begins our port of call, and on the front page of the paper, Akufo-Addo bounces back from isolation, resumes work today. We also have NLA cautions public against lotto fraudsters. Correct Government of Ghana IMF parallel figures. Tekpe urges minister ahead of budget review. Kwesi Ofori and Sarah Fokuo fingered in illegal demolition of property at Agyapong. And phase 2 of nationwide market disinfection exercise takes off. Next up is the Chronicle newspaper, and Akufo-Addo graduates start WASSCE today. Focus attention on active COVID-19 cases, the Ghana Health Service, and Rawlings playing games with murder of judges. Also on the front page of the Chronicle, EC exposed those who want to cheat, and government launches second nationwide fumigation exercise. Lotto fraudsters on the prowl, duping people. So that's the Chronicle newspaper for you. Next up is the Daily Statesman newspaper. COVID-19 active cases drop as Akufo-Addo resumes out-home engagements after 14-day isolation. Finance Minister presents mid-year budget review Thursday. NLA cautions public against lotto fraudsters. And President sends best wishes to 313,837 WASSCE candidates. The Ghanaian Times comes up next, and on its front page, WASSCE begins today. 313,837 SHS students write final exams. NLA warns public against social media lotto fraudsters. 90 former workers drag Coca-Cola to Labour Commission. President resumes work at Jubilee House today after 2-week self-isolation. Second phase nationwide disinfection fumigation exercise begins. If we turn our attention to the back page of the Ghanaian Times, it repeats some of the headlines at the front page. Second phase nationwide disinfection fumigation exercise begins, and 90 former workers drag Coca-Cola to Labour Commission. The Daily Guide is our next newspaper, and on its front page, NDC dazed, rejects Interpol red alert on fugitive Adam Mahama. I know this particular subject will be sumptuous for my guest when the menu is served for discussion. So, of course, it will be one of our issues that we'll be looking at, issue relating to the Airbus. I know when you hear the Airbus, all your ears are like, boom, like a dog's one. So we'll be paying rapt attention to our guest when he begins to, discuss the Airbus issue. Phase 2, nationwide disinfection underway. And Lotto fraudsters on rampage. 48 pages, EC registration plan, Phase 4 pullout. Active COVID-19 cases dropping. And Nana resumes today after quarantine. Finally, the daily graphic is our next port of call, and WASI begins today. President resumes work today, wishes WASI candidates well. PPP elects national executive. So when we begin to hear news like PPP, PNC, other political parties electing their national executive, then we know the political season is really dawning on us. COVID-19 testing enhanced, logistics procured upon Nkrumah, Electoral Commission 2020 voter registration exercise, movement plan phase 4, and local government ministry Zoom Lion disinfect 1,000 markets nationwide. And finally, we look at the back page of the daily graphic. Cylinder recirculation pilot extended to Yendi. And armed gang robs traders in Wa. So these are the various headlines on the front and the back pages of the newspapers. And this is where we get back to the glass table in the studio, and my guest this morning is none other than the interesting, intellectually savvy and knowledgeable Padmore Baffour Agyapong, a member of the New Patriotic Party and one of its astute communication officers. Anope Yakwaba Baffour.
Yeah.
Pato it's saying.
Nyamiadom Boko, I'll qualify a CD mode.
Oh yeah, but you deserve it. You deserve it. Yeah, and your contributions. It's not up to me to judge. It's on YouTube. When you go on the YouTube platforms, and the comments and the views say it for ourselves. So it's not like I'm making it up. For God and country. Yeah, that's it. Now, no pay. Now, in fact, before we go into the discussion, Akufo-Addo graduates, what your modine? So how do you know what is that?
Well, I think the president, the last address to what I himself fellow Ghana address because the opening greetings no go for the Atosa series so. On COVID, and I mention baby sir, I mean the jovially so the Akufo-Addo graduate, and none of your person changing and say, Oba be a president, and or share massive free SHS1, no only free SHS2, free SHS3 free. It is since I honor and free SHS in the buyer. Now the first batch for better exams in Tisan and for Ediatum, Akufo-Addo mano any so that is the idea of Akufo-Addo graduate because also must every form 1 I could see form 3 or maybe school. Yeah.
Right. So, just as we are just about to get into the discussion proper, you are reminded that the dialogue is streaming on our social media platforms, including YouTube and Facebook, and the handle remains at Net2 Television. At Net2 Television. So call one to alert one to notify another to assemble before the television sets or by your mobile handsets and watch and contribute to the program, the dialogue. You can send your opinion, commentary, and views to the show, and we'll read them aloud. So just like maybe almost about 900 days ago, the president launched the first ever free education nationwide policy in the country somewhere in September 2017. Well, 3.5 years down the line, those initial students who were admitted in the schools, today is the day of reckoning as the West African Examination Council readies them for their examination. So for the next week or so, students from the final year students across all senior high schools will be writing their exam. The president has sent them a congratulatory message, and we at NETU will add our voice to that. Now, Baffour, and now I'm going to share more exams. Then, what can one?
Did kind me, you better wish you in our well. Ye bompire mom say, near Umusia, I yakoto, Umajunuma, I am sorry, I'm Mumuno. Yaminyo madam, now Umuntimini and Sovenano, a ye. Now, in I empire bon said, do one bit me a pass. It's answer a abofrebia right. International human rights right of the child, the convention. So I was abofrebia etimi ekosuku.
Right.
And this man penya dwene ho se obedhwe musuku nyina modru every secondary school. Na ne esefata so say yenso ye be ye ho asua de na ya pass nsohwe no e de ahye omanpanyin ne yawofo animonyam say Gidia Ghana enya wo mu nti a ye fa Ghana fo esika ya gigi nyina de ahwe wo mu no ya ntuska na engu na emom emfaso kese abaso ama omu de dikan na afenso eba abeboa oman no nti ye be wishi omu nyina good luck na ya bompaye se ahoden nyame mo ma ahoden empem bebre no ya nsem sisi we exam so bi obetimi asua de sa nakra won nabi obekwa kotena exam so na afi ne body no I so weak otimi kra e collapse na bibi nyame mo mu nyansa sane ombetimi schedule o ma disua bibia a o ma pomuden so o mo ehwe so me de me gidi se o mu betimi pass
Right. Okay.
Unse so deserve bibia na bibi ye wo dia na wantimi enya in this case inu anoma no waso mukosuku no so mantimi anko na bi omugina kwan ho ton ade e bia na afi umadane ekopa adwuma ye because scan we be ko school omunya sa opportunity no hu ene bre ene ahokeka ompese omdi sua ade no musutimi trend so hwetwa ne hu se e ampa sabi senior society home so ebi oyekohwini wantimi ansua ade yi ne bra say no ombe prove some of those people wrong say ye nya kohwifo na nya se ya kwadwofo na nya se ye mpese besua de na mum bibinti ne ye ntimi ankosuku no na sese ya sa bibi na fi atimi akone de ye trend so we twa ma munyina mahu se ampa na nyame adom ye nyansa ne ahoden no ti be gidi se enso etwe nkwa wi resource be bade no omatimi apase ne ye.
Right. One interesting statistic be me who were report ni say you see about 375,737 candidates cultural exam way across from 976 schools throughout the country. Out of this figure, 188,163 are female, while the remaining 187,573 are males. I don't know the previous data, na minim wa madwemo, but it's interesting, say, this time, a man no does so change, it's quite a revealing statistic, isn't it?
It is, and also, you know, you promote a madison. And Pembe near near say a ma addition aka echi. Tia man to me and Tinomo in Sia Adie, Debia no ye Okobusima, Papa no me pushing memma no as same man on Tindak. I say, oh, Visukuba society, my Kunumum near the memma no dominate a same man. And the good news is that in this case, yenya a ma participation so high. Which a beboa ama ye engagement as of mind send person empower emano akoso yi send ye nyina ye. One other thing that I'm person and possibly, and I know that clarification will come out. Now once say NDC4 I shall say a propaganda be with the numbers on the free SHS.
Okay.
Which is very unfortunate.
Then same sir.
One, they are saying say the number na omo airport train so heno. Eso ati till almost a so at every Oma like over 2017, over 2018, over 2019. Omo ekotre BC, you know, secondary school was, you know, and ka was a free SHS by 2020, no, a doso.
Okay.
Nanso and Tessa a swat. It's free SHS faces a year cano, any dear him, but a intro.
Okay.
A intro.
So, if we hear now, then I enter.
Oh, once I NDC propaganda, Sunny Bay on Becancha Ghana for you know, so MPP for see more than Korako school enrollment cost through your funny baby and so say more Bomo, the Mamma numbers are equal trends of him. But so far data now this year is still the highest comparing to even the last 4 years.
Okay.
And this our propaganda na NDC for you. Mr. Matna ha campaign and on other platforms. So NDC were propaganda BI about Nana Kufuor and the policies in one. And Momo found free SHS.
Right.
Because free SHS data, whatever, is very easy to verify. Very easy to verify. Even so-called WAEC website, the figures WAEC has put there. 2020 is still the highest. And where from this propaganda? Just a Ghana for Muse, oh, free SHS, Nekasan Korabi, Kuskun.
Now, your figures are over to me, prove say the NDC side is putting out falsehood. Bibia, or a bit to me, I say, okay, the Omodi to Jano, false. But these are the correct figures going forward.
Of course, we all know it's false. Now, the only two, I almost say, in 2017,
right,
289,207 students sat for the exams. And about 2018, 316,980 sat for the exams. 2019, 364,098. 098. And now back 2020 313,837. Even then they cry from the year headline reading or graphic story in press in the percentage. Isn't it even
375,307.
So where from almost 313 now more can show in say a swat rather.
Okay, let me say yes. I don't know whether it's a communication problem because the daily graphic, the Ghanaian Times almost was at 313 figure. No, so I don't know whether they were being misled by some media reports, and now more the statement from the Ghana Education Service.
The best source you can get the figures right. It's all
right.
Because WAEC and AN so to be able to register BIO data, so WAEC knows the number of candidates sitting for this exam.
Right.
And it's one fan from Omoho, maybe some other data. Your figure might be wrong. So go to the source. Yes, go to the source and find out how many and yeka. It is our propaganda no masas in
right. So these are the opening comments from Padmore Agyapong concerning senior high school, the final year SHS students commencing their WASI examinations that begins today. Like I said earlier, the president has extended his best wishes to them, and so are we from Kencity Media. But sometime during the week, of course, the issue about the Airbus and supposed Interpol red alert and the CID, getting in the mix all came up for discussion. And that discussion wouldn't go away, and we are not the ones to make it go away. This morning, my guests will also be taking a bite into the issue. According to the front page of the Daily Guide, they say NDC is dazed, rejects Interpol red alert on fugitive Adam Mahama. So, just for us to be on the same page, let me just read a few paragraphs so we'll all be informed. Ernest Kofiedu writes that the request to have the International Police Organization, Interpol, arrest Samuel Adam Mahama, brother of ex-President John Dramani Mahama, in connection with the Airbus SE 4 million euro bribery scandal is causing unease in the opposition National Democratic Congress. Although it was at the instance of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, headed by Martin Amidu, that the alert was being issued, the NDC is insisting that the move was a veiled yet direct attack on former President Mahama by the New Patriotic Party administration. Since the arrest warrant was issued last week, the NDC leaders have been berating the NPP over what they said was an attempt to impugn the integrity of the former president ahead of the 2020 general elections in December. A police statement signed by DSP Julian Obing, head of public affairs of the Criminal Investigations Department, confirmed that the Office of the Special Prosecutor had made the request to raise a red notice through the Interpol for the arrest of the ex-president's younger brother, together with his accomplices, namely Sarah Feno, Sarah Leanne Davis, and Philip Sean Middlemiss, who are all believed to be British. The story goes on and on and on and on, and I'll jump to a paragraph where it's relevant. Former President Mahama's spokesperson, Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, went overdrive over the weekend, saying the Akufo-Addo administration is trying to witch hunt the NDC flag bearer in the Airbus issue. She even went to the extent of saying that Mr. Amidu was being used by the NPP for their political expediency. Right. Baffour, why are you using? I don't know use Martin Amidu, a big man like that who mans the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Why do you use him for your political ends and for political expediency as being alleged by Bawa Mokhtari?
The Edikan MPP Enyusu Martin Amidu for any political gain. MPP Enyusu Martin Amidu for political gain. And MPP in the future Enyusu Martin Amidu for any political gain.
Okay.
So MPP per se, yes, sir, and President Akufo-Addo. In the first place, Kofa MPP ni lawyer, Ekotana special prosecutor position. Basano ye no, Debbie. NDC ni ayina nimno, a former vice presidential running mate, and all fans on special prosecutor. Right.
Right.
Now, Mame Emfa Adi we say in Chum. Na yina yentiasi. NDC show say omo nyune Ghana man ho.
Oh, I don't know.
Omo ye amambofo. NDC. The omo ye nyina che say omo ye amambofo.
Some be rule Ghana for about 16 years.
It's not because omo ye amambofo. Because yes see ye hwehwemu and hwehwemu no che say Ghana ekodi dwa bi. Na dwa die no bibia koso a antwa yi a I didn't know it was an NDC rather almost supported. Why are they against it? So what do you know, man, Ghana? And now, so any young baby, I'm koye and chayino. Now I'm correcting.
Because he be a science, she mono a big woman.
The person was say because a candidate Mahama Nienti and you see a now some what to be paying.
Okay.
Sir, John Mahama Nia. And I be enyenti me hwehwem na John Mahama ni ni omunya Ghana for Ghana constitution obobroso. I mean, what sort of argument is this? Say John Mahama nuenti ye kwahwehwe asem no John Mahama na ye pese ye de efore no say mpem bebre no.
Yep.
And this yomuka omaningu, they are quick to come and say President Mahama ebedi akonya as president no wan fa de busuani bia nkona ban mu gise Joyce Bauer apart from Joyce Bauer na busuani bia amma na ban mu say bia obeji appointment bia na bibi but rather the odina busuafo ye no it was even worse than say komo appointment mpo
sana again.
Oh, of course. Now who say wunia one man appointed, one man minister, one man DC, one man here, but rather Ghana air procurement. And wunia not the company and what one what is percentage of Ghana procurement on. I did criminal idea na change we. So what I say?
Yeah.
But when the Quadeca class obiam improving say idea no why all that matter me do here and say or try letter echo ma Samuel Adams say me yen hwehwemu enti bra na be bo hwehwemu no ebesina wan fi no ena ye Ghana hwehwemu no oye enti Ghana ban wo ho kwan bia so obi bia o Ghana ni bia waye bibia tia Ghana ana o man so ni bia waye bibia tia Ghana wo so obeyi na no eti me den man interpol te interpol hwehwe ni pa no fa ne mra ne entoto na no ne hwehwe asem nim and it is exactly sana matia media ne bone ne dia he
now the timing no and politically because BB o mami ma platform B or say without any equivocation that it was Mr. Mahama who even welcomed the move by the current government to have the special prosecutor investigate the matter and insisted that the NPP was using the Airbus issue to attack the personality of John Mahama because, according to her, the NDC flag bearer was gaining grounds ahead of the elections. And say, and yes, corruption, it's election, political expediency, just because your popular chain,
grounds now. Mahama again in 2020 election and grounds in India. I wish an uncle bet trade India also again grounds. Idea grounds. Media Menoka say, and we will all go to it when it comes there. And this is for Omoye manifesto. Omasha say is realizing many bia Omoye. And I'm telling you, so far, name of the Ababontina, excuse my language, is total rubbish. That's why I said, excuse my language. You know, I'm not like that.
Yes.
But based on the all kind of say, and name away any guinea gun, I am telling Joyce Bauer, my dad say, Sassam now all kind of total rubbish. Idea grounds. Me see, policies now, Omadi kind of Ababontina test what test no. Minya. I will not jump the gun,
right?
Because there's a team that is working on it.
Okay.
But possibly some highlight, I can give some highlight for you to know, say, NDC is bereft of ideas in our governance now, as we stand.
They have brought about some 18 policies. Now, no me who
Okaibi. Policies no me Okaibi bakokra.
I'm saying TVET free.
TVET NDC TVET any free say. TVET you free. TVET no be any free.
I'm saying hospitals were all regional capital.
All regional capital. For NPP, NDC 2012 manifesto. John Mahama can whom say Ghana for Abama no be president 2013 to 2017. Or no John Mahama, Obesi Regional Hospital or Eastern Region, Kuforidia. Obesi Regional Hospital or Bolgatanga.
Right.
Wa Regional Hospital President Kufoko Jiska by na ye no. Obe complete. We are Western Region, Obesi Regional Hospital.
Right.
4 regional hospitals. Emudia na John Mahama timiwe. Eastern Region, Afrina President Akufo-Addo acquire phase 1 shortcutting for Eastern Regional Hospital.
Yeah.
But John Mahama say 2012 to Abama na 2013-2016 obesi Eastern Regional Hospital. Even wa Regional Hospital. Na President Akufo-Addo and a buy no commission wa Regional Hospital. President Akufo-Addo ne be wie. Ade started President Akufo, right. President Mills buy, or no Mahama buy. Even 1 year start they went to me and
they will pay all customers of the collapsed financial institutions whose monies are locked up.
Menoka said, "Dear MPP, under John Mahama, ne mess o create DKM, and the President Kufuor never completed DKM payment."
Right.
It is when beyond John Mahama say, "Yamana no meet you any sika."
I say, Ombaba be reduce the size of government by at least 40 ministers.
Maming, and I am a desasassim we appear. Maming show a debi. I dear Bakwa Ghana for ref. Yes, I understand. Say you put in 125 minutes, 124 minutes. Quite costro. I know, sir. Otia, we ambitious. Say, that ministers be at the koi. Minia, Menoka say, take all the ministers I have found. Emudu do say, and I walk outside Parliament. Would you just analyze? Say, ministers say, "See, for me, baby, no." Emudu, when him say, "Adia Bakwa." His Excellency President Kufuor, I say, most of his ministerial and deputy ministerial appointments, let's say about 80-85% are all coming from Parliament. They are all MPs.
Right. And
do you know what that means? What it means that any MP no dada no, as MP no, or entitlement be a ojidada. It is the same pan we are the minister, and just a friend was starting a whole ministerial a year. Ose besha se tuya ni bibia. Already on a salary or jidada or on benefits as MP.
Okay.
It's said pan ofana. What do you add to it?
Maybe I'll bet to me on your double salary. Say you what yeti Chroma news reports of double salary.
That is the misconception NDC is trying as if say or your MP Tianica and you say any minister and Tianica na ebebe etiade or cable mine so.
Okay.
That is not true.
Right.
He is rather saving us money, sir. Senka Oja ministers, or Kaso Montana Parliament, no Majuma, and Obefa me, some deputy minister and minister. A fain will be providing Yamafo for me, which then will be extra cost than say Nipano MP than air twasso.
Okay.
That is the difference. But in any case, can say President Kufuor more time won't feel sign on Mateso. President Kufuor ne John Mahama fa omo a ministry appointment. Say no teso from President Kufuor. I was saying President Kufuor do the bar or Teso. Where Ghana, we can decide, say, you better run your ministries with 7 ministers. It will be possible.
Right.
We can decide. Say, President Kufuor to say, China, what collapse ministries ni bebre account boom. Do you ever 1 minister? Now I share about 4 ministries so. Then appointed 4 deputy ministers for each of whether they call it department or unit or whatever under that ministry. It is possible. You can run Ghana with 7 ministers. But you see, the issue is that you're looking at efficiency and effectiveness. So we combine such a big portfolio, sir. How well will the ministry function in terms of, say, ye deliver?
Right.
What's the president? And there's someone can say, I am in a hurry. Ghana and Kencity. I wasn't your pushy and walk baby. I was your Bruno. Now, son, you be pushy and I wasn't your being near me.
Okay.
Don't be surprised, sir. After first term, President Kufuor can come back to Ghanaians and say, my first term, I told you I was in a hurry. Baby, I had to catch up.
Okay.
So I don't think we need to rush our process now. We need to sit and plan what we have now and move forward.
Okay.
We can decide to even bring those things down. Because if you say, there are no person who are in the first step, no, what achieve?
Right.
And this has no better, this is no better. Tama, President Kufuor so by saying no better so. So why you be paying, sir? It will be an example of about.
Or say they would institute a national apprenticeship program in line with his vision of rapid industrialization and job creation.
Me pacho idea na napko NAPCO
is a copycat of NAPCO?
Of course.
Okay.
You are establishing National Entrepreneurial Program, NIP. Innovation and Entrepreneurial Program. Support skills. So they are working. How different is NAPCO na NIP I set it up. Any even empowering of free TVETA training skills from the. What's the difference?
Okay.
MPP, and then also baby.
You will scrap the 50% increment in communication service tax to reduce the cost of telephoning and data. This will reduce the cost of living and the cost of doing business in the country. The communication tax,
communication service tax, increasing how many percentage point? Also, funny.
Right.
Also, I think it was 0.6 pesos or so, and now I think they call 0.9 pesos. So 3 pesos now they can't 50. On can say you 3 pesos, or say you 50%. It will be hey, I didn't 50% guru. But the person says President Kufuor the 3 pesos I can communication service tax. Tis at 3 pesos no or no the oba, but or no buy no communication service tax. Nay say you starting no office no say. Oh, it's easy to say over kind of raw, but it's better so be providing details of what you did
previously. Okay. Say I can hospitals no say you construct a regional hospital and provide districts without district hospitals.
District hospitals. Minoka say regional president announced here in I think the last but one fellow Ghanaian address. Or see. Every new region be a regional hospital. And then every district. Time a president can't ask them, never time a Mahama can't ask them. President can't some check Ghana phone in area, no affair to non Casa Oba, Obesi Hospital district. At the end of the year, it will bad then I obey.
Okay. I see obey abolish the dreaded double track system of secondary education. Through a massive infrastructure drive.
My memo on education, on education. Do you know how much infrastructure President will buy wire on education?
So far.
When schools are President Kufuor infrastructure wire on schools, about 804.
Schools.
804.
Rehabilitated.
I'm telling you.
Newly commissioned and rehabilitated.
Yes.
Okay.
About 804. And the president no they double track no buy no. Double track no be solve they need say yama korebia antenafie. E do say yama korebia antenafie no oni vision say ene omo ko no yam build infrastructure ne absorb omo nyina. Already wo
Okay.
Etije na wo be
All right. Okay.
Okay, say obesi expand infrastructure I want the 2012 manifesto.
Yeah.
Or say your to abama na obesi 200 day schools.
Right.
200. John Mahama Efia Kunyaso 200 no esimu say. From 2013 to 2017 also obesi 200. Office no esi say.
About 40 million.
Oh, they fancy 50, which is 25%.
Right.
Say any pay say trying one say okay, any map me, but most are the me bar. Mesa be see another the diaka na wiya bibia. It's not scam.
We sure say.
Jamal 4 years 2013 to 2017. Also be enti near the mouth. Why nye? Obiaba wabesi over 804 different infrastructure projects for secondary school.
Okay.
What's yam pam say any pano? Ni amfa wo mra. Na se me continue here. Yan ton your color TV we and black and white view. There's no Bahama again. Messi, look at all their policy. Every time I say, excuse my language, they are all rubbish. Because, and I was telling the team now, Juma, we say, because we've taken all Niamana Wakano. And we are looking at it and say, what is this man doing? Now, listen to a funny thing that I said.
I see Obe restore nurses and teacher training allowances. And also.
Or say, Obe maintain. One can restore, or say maintain. Now, who say teacher and nurse training allowance? Say, you better about your cry. On some farmer, what you because you need man of principle.
Right.
You need sika. Akufuor say me ba me ntwe mesa dia ba na etum Akufuor da sa dia ba afa wo say mo mpa me Akufuor na mo de me ba de Akufuor dia ba no mesa ma na ka ho do they really sit down to analyze the same no mo kan? I don't think they do. They do not. Also ba restore be maintain.
Right.
But why do we
maintain the restored allowance?
The restored allowance from Akufuor. Then other than any mpa me Akufuor den san fa omra because when timi anye Wabeya yin free one near our metro, the honor Abena was going to mean so. It does not make sense.
Right.
This is what I said. And I want to read this to Ghana for Yanonte. This is a group that are working on this document. I say, well, I think JM deserves an acronym on his policy statement in terms of his actionable words.
Right.
So what should the actionable ways we use we will maintain, we will restore, we will review, we will reintroduce, we will expand, we will fast track. It tells you say NPP government niamana work and NPP aban ye dada. It's young pamono no say met to the NPP aban so. Do they really sit down and then no, I think they don't have the men. Like Baumia said, they don't.
Yeah, sure.
No, they don't. They don't. They really don't. Maybe I am jumping to animal with, but it's good say Ghana for what is going on, what we are doing behind the scenes for Ghanaians to know the lies of NDC. Or say Oba expanded the industrial base, I'm a nipa baby I near Juma abe create job for baby.
Right.
Mahama opportunity through SADA. O de yemfa SADA nkwa. Yemko JIDA. Yemko National Service. Yemko Youth Authority. Yemfa SADA nkwa. In the 2012 manifesto, Mahama se Ghana fuwe moto abama me number president 2013 kosi 2017 SADA edie nua 5 million. Na sa enua 5 million no yebe dia another 5 million ka manako 10 million enua na ye de ate climate change so busa say 5 million na wo se no wadua no ye kwa hwehwem ne nua na ka sei ono se 5 million no madua dada wo enti say Simon be president 2013 to 2017 or the another 5 million be back ho Mr. Mahama Mbeka check Ghana for 2013 to 2017 or the edua ba ko pese impossible form Onya opportunity and uko sa 2012 Oma manifesto ni ma o say omo ye de aboa de forest
rounds no mo hu new reforestation trees are AFP bawo no for upper west
you can easily Ghana ni bia betimi afa ne Android phone or better the computer chi Google SADA audit report titia 3 words SADA audit report.
Okay.
The full audit report of SADA at the internet in so.
Okay.
Now reading we say even saying you have 500 no see what dia dada no. Report in say omuko twa say nua ni nyina egu according to them. Because you kwye nua ni woni nua na wo hen. Omu say omu twa ni nyina egu na afa no omu say be dua ne foforo. What you say we be pen. Eti mama otnase no tin sem bi say ya ne yebo nhyehyɛ ne say de obeye Ghana na ni so sa ba biom. So what your president say na say you expose say na we na say na wo hwe TV say na me kan ya ni yebo nhyehyɛ say chale na me mpem ba bi ntina na I don't deserve
ebi ono so odwen say oye ni ye
oh minua
for his part obedwen say he did his best he could because back
so you can say the Mahama is table is one genuinely if he's a man of principle he should move away from Ghana politics especially on the presidential seat. Or enjoy the diplomatic status as a former president. Now or enjoy Sanyama done or see and some opportunity.
Okay, but Cecilia, with the Airbus situation, what does it mean for his candidature as at this time going forward? Cecilia, I say this report read and led to Interpol. From there, ABI Interpol in almost those 4 persons involved. What does it, what is in store?
It is good. Also, I know the we buy because almost say the Airbus, air for send you or calling him and the young person at Trini Bay.
Yes.
And I made just in the Nina or Kodonko baby. Ujina baby ujina na ana maboboni mani because omu fi say policy we no market can na chese okon anim but ujina baby ujina na but they don't know now for once candidate Mahama na akasa on Airbus okay ho asem or say as a president this time not as an individual as a president he did not benefit financially from the Airbus deal.
Okay.
Mahama na bekai enyame na America. As a president, one benefit. Now, so we are president, no one benefit here. So, oh, how to say? Because already I catch a Ghana for you and say, when you one person a crowd so. It's any account to me now, baby. Now, I buying Ghana, buying no. Then, person Ghana for you and say, we any MPP, ne you. Ghana for you and you 2 million as MPP. Some. It's the MPP, or Yama Ghana for you now. It's Ghana for you and say, Sanhwehwemu aba sɛ obi adfa Ghana sika didi a ɛne aban yɛde tumi nama yɛhwehwemu a ne bɔne a Akufo-Addo ayɛ ne deɛ ni. And Mahama fee say, but you see, the Australian say, when you go into the issues, it will expose more his involvement. That is, and me can you say, yes, you share same nima. As a 50 years, as I say, 50 funeria, unsamai. When you say, yeah, 50 funeria, you be unsamai, or you be cobwebs be what, I see a tinta a chin of Besha sim, and no sruno. So one benefit, name deal no why would you any be now here in a winning benefit here?
Ford expedition issue no so can say one benefit. Now the Airbus in China or the state, it went to the state.
Minia, Mene can say it is on record say Ghana if you are seeing now listen to this Ghana nkwan if you are seeing na President Otia Kunyaso Aba Bontia Bekache Ghana fo nyina say na oye president no wanje bribe da as president as nipa wanje bribe da name oye president no obi man gift and oje gift no oje gift ni wie no o man nipa ne contract Ghana nkwa ewiase nyina Ghana nkwa na wo president a wotimi bie na no ka se ote akonya so no oje gift. But ye nhwemu ye no gi gift ni wie nipa no de gift ni bae no o man contract
sa no kan ye
me say ogitum say ogi gift scratch be kan say enye bribe a gift but me o man bae so na president a wote akonya so e be ba bonti opinion be ka say ma gi gift a free I cloth ho na me wie ye no ma tam contract do so puo dia ma I cloth a enye bribe. Is it not what we call the pro quid pro or whatever?
Yeah.
That you do something for me, I do something for you.
Right.
And he's
quid
still,
pro quo.
Yeah, quid pro quo. And he still have the guts say, on your corrupt. Minya, Mr. Ghana and Kwana Sasa Messi, ne we are been a president to be a bit of a babonte, a this admission, or better as president, they really term, or we are. Or best have tried one Basse or Sabi president to you.
Anyway, Sami Jemfi says I read alert, no, it's fabricated.
Fabricated from where? Me to send this in Ibi, comment to be said or say, who call a website, Interpol website, young publishing what
I say, let me, Mamin kind of be anti. The NDC communications officer, Sami Jemfi, went to the extent of claiming that checks revealed that the red notice could not be found on the official website of the Interpol and that it was the attempt by the government to deceive the people. So this is fabricated. It is of dubious validity and we should not feed the people of this country with such information. Sana, Sami Jemfi. Can say there are more around the kikanin mum na mo shed daddy in sensem to just say sana isina. After all, there is no Interpol red alert.
I say the director of CID Ghana Henina CID penny pound or die CID are not your investigation waba live on radio, TV interview, I confirm say, hey, no correct. Who is Sami Jemfi to say, no correct?
NDC communications.
No, I'm telling you, sir. Penny power or police man or say CID in some investigations or my when I say,
right?
Hey, no correct. You need Interpol a design guitar, no. I'm a sir notice no abba. Who is Sami Jemfi to come and say, no correct? Oh, the person material.
Yeah.
The person just say, on your biasa Ghana for betino. Because what does he know? On NDC, they don't learn. And that boy is pushing them in a ditch, but they don't know.
I don't know, Kasa.
I know Sami Jemfi na can say, Alawa for nurses, Alawa for teacher training for NDC time, Umuchemuno. And yet, Professor Jane Nana Pukajma in the chem. Or Sinyom Sama, men in the chem, don't know education minister. President Mahama and far pen and paper say nurses allowance, teachers allowance, professors book and research allowance. President Mahama and far pen and paper say mechum. Sami Jemfi na country in Ghana how. Or say in education minister I and running mate Jinana in the chem. Name President John Dramani Mahama na ne fa pen ne paper say we chum as the head of cabinet or chair meeting.
Right.
Now, is somebody not attacking their presidential candidate? And I am dead because he's exposing their own presidential candidate.
Since that time, no, na MPP per se, almost this I blame it to Nana Jane. So, and Sami Jane was trying to explain that decision, that responsibility did not lie with Nana Jane, but rather with the cabinet of the day.
The school of common sense politics.
That's right.
Would tell you, say, Jane Nana Opokwajima ding any ballot paper so. And the MPP can say whatever they want to say about Jane Nana, but for President Mahama and Idin, our ballot, no, they only see a born home buying. School of common sense politics.
And exposing the immaturity.
Of course. Let MPP tag Jane Nana whatever they want to tag her with. At the end of the day, you need to ballot in so. But all the protected Jane Nana Opokwajima. That's what denigrated John Dramani Mahama. It's good for me as an MPP person. Right. Because the contest is between President Kufuor and John Mahama.
Right.
And that is what, I mean, these common sense things in politics, they can't even understand.
Has the Airbus, this Airbus in the same way, has it got the capacity or the capability to derail President Mahama's ambitions?
It was never the intention of MPP.
Right.
To tag Mahama or target Mahama.
Okay.
It is never the intention of MPP to tag Mahama or target Mahama. And it will never be the intention of MPP to tag Mahama or target Mahama in this Airbus. No.
Okay.
All that Ghana phone can say, no cry a word in and say, because you am a money beer, Yabubo Mudin to say Ghana, Umayan Shishemu, I punish you, Bima, no me involved. So Ghana, you tried it. They can say Ghana, what's so many Shishemu, near Hunokre. Well, it's not what is about Mahama. I mean, when him say Mahama is the person I can want some Airbus him. Obianim. There is the I1 or I whatever.
The government official.
Government GO1. When him say Mahama some yeka. Obianim say Mahama some. Now I bet you that Obianim say Adams Mahama some yeka. Enye ninia. Okay, adiana or see ninia. It's obviously a Mahama some. But what is the MPP for? I take the win out of Martina Midu and going after Mahama. No, all that they are saying is that our special prosecutor Onye Nejuma. And also one Tiasa Onye Nejuma. I mean, come on.
But the political fallouts of this case is what I want to
now.
Yeah.
The fallout, if it happens and it is confirmed that Adiana Adams Mahama a bribe and OG. And ultimately bribe because none a president or vice president and on front Adiana Magana and unti and a boano manager is a huge conflict of interest situation. The Atosuminu, then John Mahama did not use wisdom in approving or moving ahead with this transaction.
Right.
Because as president, when you say you involve you don't push.
But can the former president face criminal charges?
If it is proven, sir, he put himself in a conflict of interest.
You see, government official one, as it stands now, the various investigations, US, France, Indonesia, Malaysia, and all that, as it stands now, special prosecutor, yes.
Near the government official one.
Yes,
the state can decide whether to press charges against him. Because what kind of document now, or say, intermediary 5 was able to get the unya, because of GO1's position.
Right.
Minya lawyer dear, but I know a case of aiding and abetting because of your position. Now we influence and you do unya and we did by extension. So what unya did do the union or Kofi beam? You will never.
Right.
So by extension, if the state now then wants to press charges against those involved, and it is proven, say what they did illegal, the state can decide.
Okay, but with former President Mahama, is the constitution is it allowed? Is there a constitutional obstacle?
Now. President Mahama, per our constitution, a former president.
Okay.
Right. And we all know so be a former president, wabedi akunyano, and wakotene fie.
Yeah.
And wajina home. But says no kotene fie no, and also there be person metene fie. Me person me sa be president. It inka genuinely can by extension. Maybe I was by now. And you may be our enjoy as former president. Okay, Jeffrey Nisam. Also, my country say Kenya. Omo a movie ahead in after omo issues na Kofi Annan Koko survey, you know. Omo de show mu constitution mu say ubedi akonya no be yo mampanyi na uwia. Ukotena se mampanyi. Oman no be hwe. Na emom se wan tena se mampanyi na do ho sa hyehyɛ amanyosem mu a enema oman yema obi a ye beje because se wonya mampanyi dada biu. We are actively involved in politics. Now he is actively involved in politics. That is why I refer to him more as candidate Mahama, because he is the running candidate for the NDC. I could have chosen my words carefully and say His Excellency, former President, my Excellency, but he is now candidate Mahama.
Right.
What prevents me, if I have anything against a running mate or a presidential candidate of an opposition party? I can go after him as a presidential candidate.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, so these are the thoughts and opinion concerning the Airbus issue and matters arising from our guest, Baffour, Agyapong. Right, so your opinion and comments are really, really crucial for us as well. There are a few coming on the YouTube, on our YouTube handles. I'll be reading them when we come back from this short break. I have a few seconds to go for my short break. But just before I go, let me say the International Charismatic Church, together with their General Overseer, Bishop Opong Edu Jemfi, will and continue to bring us the afternoon, the Sunday hour of service and worship on Net2 television from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. this and every Sunday. They've been doing that for the past couple of months, and it's really a refreshing church service. Join myself, Focus, and all of us to, join in the praise and worship this and every Sunday. We are going for a quick break. When we come back, we will be activating the phone lines where your thoughts, opinion, views, and commentary will be shared. We'll be right back. Right, welcome back into the studios. This remains the dialogue with me, Isaac Clotte, and my guest is Baffour, Agyapong. Well, we've been discussing quite a number of issues. The WASSCE or the Akufo-Addo graduates commences their WASSCE examination today, and matters arising from the Airbus brouhaha is what our discussion has been centered on. Mainly, we will be coming back because over the weekend, the second phase of the fumigation and disinfection exercise commenced all over the country. We'll be bringing you some footages as we discuss the impact of the exercise. But let's share some of your messages that you've sent in so far. Mono Yebua says, "Good morning, Isaac Clotte. I'm watching you live from Israel. We thank God for that." Seth Jetua says, "Watching live from Burkina Faso. We thank you." Eugenia Pierre says, "For more for Nana, please say no to Mr. Airbus." Nanayao says, "Good morning, host and Mr. Agyapong. I thank God for your lives. JDM and the NDC are confused. They want the MPP to rule like how they did during their tenure. No one asked them to elect their leaders." Richmond Ampabaden said, "Good morning, Mr. Clotte and Mr. Padmore." Malachi Mensah says, "I'm watching live from the Oti region, Dambai. I'm Mensah Malachi. Mensah, good morning." Eugenia Pia sends a plea to people who have been registered. He said, "Please go and register to finish Mr. Airbus." Orlando Media says, "Nana is the first in top 10 African presidents." Orlando, if that's you, very good morning. Nanayao says, "Ghanaians should never repeat such a mistake they made during the end of President Kufuor's government. I want to know what prevented the NDC doing all these when they were in power." I guess it's in reference to their 18 policies they've outlined for 2020. Phyllis Prempe Bonsu says, I hope they won't bring NDC back. Ghana will be, that word, I can't mention it. And the world will laugh at us because the whole world is watching. Malaka Mensah comes again. 4 more for Nana. 4 more for Michael Yao-Jato, the developer of Dambai and Oti region at large. There are some more messages, but we'll come back to that later. Let's go back to my guest, Baffour. And over the weekend, you see, second phase of the fumigation and disinfection exercise commenced all over the country, especially at marketplaces and public places. And what do you make of this exercise?
Well, they are important. I was saying, the president, my commitment to be our first fumigation exercise and disinfection. So at least every 3 months, be
Okay, so on your screens you can see the footages of the exercise rolling with the Greater Accra Regional Minister in your shot. Okay. The Greater Accra Regional Minister giving his, maybe, should I say, directives, giving the welcome address to the members of the task force who will be undertaking the cleanup exercise. Sorry, Mr. Padmore.
Yeah, of course. And the president said, can say, now, possibly, no. Every 2 months or every 3 months, no. Young corner, yes, I yet side we see bill.
Okay, yes, yes, regional minister, no. And CCI, regional minister.
The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, following the successful execution of the first phase of the exercise, we carry out in March this year. We need to prioritize this national assignment, especially those of us in Greater Accra, since this region has become the epicenter of the COVID-19 outbreak in Ghana. It is therefore critical for us in the region to double our efforts in ensuring that we contain the virus and stop it from further spreading. MMDAs are required to submit a report in respect of the exercise using the reporting template which has been sent to you. The RCC will coordinate and monitor the entire program to ensure its success.
So this is, that was the regional minister giving his pep talk to the team before the commencement of the exercise. So the first phase ended a few months ago, and now the second phase has commenced. And now
virus not spread, no. And sign nipa bibri because nipa bibri ko jom ko dija ko ene nti se timi bodjo na ho ban a ebeboa ama virus no spread na bafom.
Right.
Na ye ka NDC asemu yi na interestingly anope ya na meeting pu se ese sami jenfi kro ya akotena radio so akoka se President Mahama se o sa be president bi won apprentice for we Ghana do mbekọ apprenticeship nyina obema obi allowance.
Okay, a new one.
Another promise or the other, and I feel who we are. Kaya Fuina, Ubecham Yin Kaya Bium Ghana for Masuma. Mahama said, Moto Abama be president. Yin Kaya, you were Ghana Hebium. I feel apprentice Fuina. Oh, also, the problem is that they think they are smart. And he said, Offer apprentice for Nakatums Obetu Muka. Hey, but Menoka say,
yeah.
The president, the finance minister, and the government is even now looking at a situation where those who are unemployed, can be supported in a way like other countries are. So being your human
benefits,
man benefits in your man. Government if you have started talking about this, and when a bomb
okay.
Now, I say, can it be possible say to Ghana hey, you Ghana? Is it possible?
That one.
See Ghana is in your or Yari or Ghana.
It's possible to submit and the NDC. Maybe it's possible for some agency and the NDC.
That's why I don't know that the school of common sense politics.
Okay. I would yes, our issue you be discuss another time. Now see a disinfection exercise. Now there my few words to that issue.
The main idea is to reduce the spread of the virus.
Right.
And cleanness about your markets in them. It's a very laudable idea. An idea in this year train. COVID cochrana and every 3 months or so I was here for near sage man because a boy and my yarewa a cough.
Right.
Yeah, never virus in but yarewa I would do baby na cough. And I bought Zoom line about so because I only are buying I can't boom a disage my way at the aboa.
Okay, but still on the same issue of COVID-19, and the Ministry of Information, your press conference, the main crux of that press conference was that the recovery rates are increasing and the active cases seem to be at least reducing gradually. So maybe the kind of alarm bells that we hear when we say, okay, COVID update, 27,000 people have tested positive. According to the Ghana Health Service, those figures will never drop. We will keep having increasing rates because they are cumulative.
Yeah.
Those who tested positive last 3 months is part of the records. You can't take them out.
Yeah.
So we'll always keep adding. So that shouldn't really put the fear of God in us. What we should be concentrating is the active cases. What do you make of that briefly? Before we go for our birthday?
Twofold.
Okay.
So, your national discourse, you can't want some there. It was Omo ya NBCC and yeka. But in public health, so okay, Oma ya NB achi omonso emunya se wo se woka. So say we have discussion in the public health sector there. And you bet me oh yare buy kra nipa dodo say na enya yare ni bi. But ye kan yare ni say o man ya ho keka se na ye kono to say there. There was ye kan say oh yetimi akon ama say o ma o manya bi no eye say.
Okay. Now this is the proper intellectual discourse. It's now time for birthday felicitations, and let's go and say good morning to those who are having their day of reckoning today. Good day and a happy day to all of you who are about to celebrate your birthdays today. So let's unveil the celebrants for today and who might they be. And just before they come in, let's say good morning to Chief Ankra and the Ochirisa Akodie. And Ochirisa Akodie, all of the Wager Police Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD. You're doing a great job. God bless you. From Ohene Safo, right here at Net2 Television. Anita Yao Asira, and this is coming from Nana Kwabna. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy the best of today, the 20th day of July. Who else is celebrating their birthdays today? Godiva Araba Etro from the Gimpa Law School. And this is coming from the Paddy's Group, because the Paddy's Group are wishing Godiva happy birthday. And from us too, we send you saying felicitations. Enjoy your day to the maximum. Kuli Hyde Emmanuel Kwekuma, happy birthday to you. It says in advance from Mr. Emmanuel Kwekuma, Managing Director of Visma Enterprise, Ashale Butcher, from your lovely wife, Abnanya Kwekuma of Man FM and 2 TV. Much love, Husby is coming straight. Share, that was the guy. This guy be proper guy. We feel you. Kwekuma, oh yeah, guy. Right. So who's spend the love or being Fosua? Share. Okay. We'll spend love on you. Madam Obing Fosua. Happy birthday today. It's coming from your dad, Samson Obing, and mom, Evelyn Owusu of Dokonfa Noche Teaching Hospital. Congratulations today. Spend the love of being Fosua. Enjoy your day. Any more birthday celebrations today? Okay, so yes, this is where we bring the windows for the birthday celebrations to a close. Greetings once again to the Wager Police MTTD. And on this note, we say thank you to our guest, Padmore, Baffour, Agyapong, a member of the NPP communications team, and our usual panelists, as well as to you, our cherished viewer, for making another date with us today. We give thanks to the production team and for all those who made this show possible. Please don't go nowhere as the national agenda comes your way with Yao Amufa next.